What is up, guys? This is your boy FightNightsFinest, the sofa commentator, bringing you guys Friday night fight reviews. Again, this one for a big card, a really good card that took place last night, with the main event being Billy Dib versus Evgeny Gradovich. Hoping I said that guy's name right. He was a Russian with 15 wins, 0 losses, and 8 knockouts, going up against Billy Dib, who only lost once by a guy who was trained by Robert Garcia. But let's get into the lower cards first, because they really did their job in setting up and providing great fights for the main event. The first fight we had was by a guy promoted by 50 Cent, and Luis Oliveros versus Rafael Mundez. And this fight was great because it really highlighted. It was a great fight set up by 50 because it highlighted and gave Luis Oliveros to showcase his skill set, and he did just that with a beautiful knockdown in the first round, and also a victory by the way of knockout, TKO victory in the first round. See, what took place is that these guys both started off fundamentally, well, not Luis, stood there with his hands down for quite a bit of time and basically dodged. I don't think I've seen him block one punch in the entire first round. Rafael leaned forward with a punch, and Luis dodged it, leaned back, and then came back with a beautiful left hook counter and dropped Rafael Mundez in the first round. He was able to get up, and then Luis put on the pressure, threw some nice combinations at him, and ended up taking him down again. He tried to get up. He was able to get up by the count of 8, but I guess the ref saw something in their eyes, or I believe in 4-round fights, if you get knocked down twice, the fight automatically ends. And that's what ended up happening. He ended up winning by TKO victory. The next fight of the night was Willie Nelson versus Michael Medina. This one was also a first-round knockout given to Willie Nelson. I'm sorry. I was just wanting to make sure I got his name right. Now, this was beautiful the way he knocked him out. Medina was pressuring Willie Nelson, so Nelson got back against the ropes. He tried to come up with a right hook, and Nelson gave him a beautiful left uppercut. So Medina tried to fire back with a left hand that kind of looked like he was trying to push, and then it came off as when Nelson knocked the hand down, it kind of flew straight in, almost like a jab. So when that happened, he tried to come with a right hook, and Nelson just knocked him out with a beautiful right hook and put him down on the canvas, and that was basically all she wrote for that fight. He ended up giving him the good night, Irene. So then we went on to the next fight that was supposed to set up the main event. That wasn't the co-feature. Nelson was the co-feature. But this fight was just as good because it came right before, and it really set the tone and calmed things down and set the tone of how a good, steady boxing fight was supposed to go down. And that one was with Jimmy Williams. Kind of had that southern old school kind of 1950s name, but the dude could really box, put forth a really solid display, and his opponent looked just to curl up a lot, just looked to survive through the first 3 rounds. He started applying some pressure in the fourth, but Jimmy just ended up being way too much for the guy, and he ended up taking that fight with 4 rounds to 0, 40-36 decision win over him. So now we get to the main event, which was Billy Dib versus Evgeny Gradovich, and this was more of a slugfest. I believe the reason why Billy Dib lost this fight and the IBF title went to Gradovich was because of this. Billy Dib was an outside fighter. Is an outside fighter. He will always be an outside fighter. He doesn't carry the necessary power, in my opinion, to knock guys out. He gets cut way too easy. He gets banged up pretty bad. I seen him get a few stuns in this fight, and he got stunned a few times in the fight. But he's an outside fighter, and your trainer, even though you need to appeal to the fans and to the crowd, you're already the IBF title list. You don't need to prove anything else to anybody else. You already got a good following behind you. You was the favorite coming into this fight. And I believe because 50 was promoting Billy Dib, what ended up happening was they looked for an easy win to kind of get Billy Dib to be really noticed against a guy with a solid record, or at least looking solid, with 15-0 and 8 knockouts in Gradovich. And I think that they look to kind of roll over Gradovich and take an easy win and get a whole thing set up because he's with 50. You know, 50 walked him down, sang a song, well, did a rap for him on the way down to the ring. And it really looked like it was something, it felt that kind of feeling in the air that it was supposed to be an easy fight. But Gradovich, the challenger, you know, he dropped the first 3 rounds, which I agree with Teddy's scorecard on how the fight should have been scored, which I believe was 116 to 110. Because Billy Dib really did come out strong and looked pretty good early on. Now, he wasn't doing a lot of infighting early on. And that's the thing that I saw end up happening. He started playing to Gradovich's strengths and coming inside and exchanging with the guy. He was backing up quite a bit and, you know, using his range pretty well in the first 3 rounds. Then Gradovich in the 4th and the 5th round started to really close the gap and started putting in that major work on Dib. In the 6th round, I felt Gradovich slowed down quite a bit from how he did. Not quite a bit, but, you know, slowed down a significant amount from what he did from rounds 4 and 5, almost to like regain his stamina, kind of use it as a rest round. So I end up giving round 7 to Billy Dib. No, round 6 to Billy Dib. Round 7, Gradovich came back to his work rate in round 4 and 5 and stayed with it throughout the rest of the night. Round 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And Billy Dib tried to do some things in order to slow him down with some nice body work that I saw going through. But Gradovich was just outworking him, out punching him in every single category that you look at. Now, the punch numbers came back different, as in Dib outpunched him. However, Gradovich was landing the more effective shots. In the exchanges, he'll get in that last extra punch in order to win him. The exchanges is why he won the rounds. Now, some of these rounds were very close. There was a lot of clinching involved, but the ref was able to separate these guys and then have them come back and, you know, keep fighting clean. Both guys got point deductions in round 8. The ref did it without any warning. I thought the referee was trying to be, you know, to control the fight. I think he should have let them fight more. Yeah, they was doing a lot of grabbing and stuff, but they were still throwing punches. As long as you got one arm free, I think the ref should let you fight. He was out there breaking them apart every time they clinched together or they came close. That's part of inside fighting. You're gonna try to grab the guy and get a little advantage. You saw that in the fight plan with Teddy, how he talked about how Dib tried to wrap his arm around you and then give you a nice uppercut to the chin or a nice few uppercuts. And he showed what Gradovich can do to counter that. And I did see that go down, I believe, one time in the 5th round, which was really good. So I was looking at the fight as in the ref trying to be too much in control and not playing his damn role as a referee. Stop breaking the guys up and let them fight. Boxing is becoming a little too soft nowadays with these referees stepping in and stopping fights and constantly breaking these guys up. You got to let them fight. If you're not letting them fight, you're not going to provide the entertainment that should be there. What ended up keeping the fight entertainment was the exchanges that went down. But Dib, I felt if he would have fought to his strengths as an outside fighter, he definitely would have won this fight. It's kind of like having a hybrid weapon. You can't, it's not going to work as effective as what it should be if it's supposed to be used in one specific situation. Like if you got a gun that's a submachine gun, you need to use that up close. It's not going to work, even though it could have the possible range of a mid-range weapon. It wouldn't work as well as it would have of being up close. And his trainer really tried to convert him from that in order to be fan favorite. I thought Dib would have won if he would have continued to fight to his strengths and stop trying to be so unorthodox and veteran-like where you have your hands down all the time. I felt if he would have fought a good conventional style fight, he definitely would have been able to beat Gradovich. But Gradovich is our new IBF titleist in the featherweight division. Guy is a really strong competitor, good inside fighter. He comes forward. You know, he can put together combinations well. And, you know, that's the kind of thing that you look for in a fighter, is a guy who's going to provide what needs to be done and do what needs to be done and get on the inside and go to work. So I look for him to hold the title for quite a bit, maybe about 5, 6, maybe even 7 defenses. And if nobody can come along and challenge him, or Dib comes back with a different gameplay, maybe the titles might switch hands. But this has been my review for Friday Night Fights. Go ahead and leave that like and your thoughts in the comment section. If you didn't watch it, I got links in the description so you guys can go ahead and check those videos out and, you know, have an opinion on the subject matter or what went down in the fights. But like I said, it was a really good card, and I can't wait till next week. I will be doing Showtime boxing review for Sunday, so go ahead and check that out for later. This is your boy Fight Night's Finest, the Sofa commentator, signing off.